Hey, it's Deanna, and you've probably seen each and every one of these perfume bottles, but I just wanted to show you them all together as a collection. And I just started to collect a lot of these antique miniature perfume bottles. I just think they're so pretty. And the smaller, the better, because when you're running out of room for your collectibles, it actually is a good thing to have smalls. I call these smalls. And so here's a various assortment of different kinds, some dating from the mid Victorian era to the late Victorian era, all the way to the 1920s, like this one over here, and the 1930s, like this one over here. So let me show you actually what kind I have in my collection. And so we have this over here. Actually, it's not a perfume bottle, and it confuses a lot of people. They think these are perfume bottles. This is a snuff bottle, and it actually held tobacco, and people used to snort tobacco. And also, they used it because it was almost like an air freshener. So you would snort the tobacco, and it would freshen the smells around you. Now, like, I know this is like sort of cheesy, but it had like a little loop in there, and it was supposed to have like a chatelaine chain, like to attach to a lady's belt. So I just added one of these little brass little chains for now, and a little ring over here. Now the next one is also a snuff bottle, and a lot of the snuff bottles in my collection are these shell type ones. And I actually enjoy looking for these shell type ones because they're so pretty. This is mother of pearl, as all of these are. And this one is my prettiest one so far. It's actually like a double shell that's attached to each other, as you can see here. And then it has this really, really ornate metal work on the top, and it opens up, and then you have your snuff inside, and it's a very like small size, so it could be a travel snuff box to take everywhere with you. Now the next one is the same style, but in a different shape. It's a heart shape. And so this little top comes off, has a mother of pearl button on top, and it has a lot of beautiful filigree work on it. And that one's quite pretty as well. Now this one is actually a seashell hinged box, and you can keep your snuff in there. And again, I added my own little chain to it, just to give it like a little bit of a pretty like ornamentation. And it can come right off if I just get in the mood to just remove it. So this would have held powder in it or snuff. It's not as pretty as the other ones. Now this is my favorite, one of my favorite this is a lay down bottle, and also known as a bosom bottle. So this would be narrow enough to fit in between a lady's cleavage, and she could freshen herself up while she was on the go. This is Baccarat glass. It's crystal, and it was made in France. I don't know precisely how old it is, but it appears to be from about, I'm going to guess, anywhere between the 1880s to 1900. And look how that shimmers. And it's very, very heavy because it's lead crystal. And each one of these little diamond patterns were cut by hand. And that's what I love about Baccarat so much. So the next one I have is also known as a lay down bottle. And a lay down bottle was a bottle that didn't stand up like these. So a lady would just lay this down on her vanity. And this is zipper cut glass. As you can see, the little dentals in it that are sharp and sawtooth in style. And this has a sterling silver top. This is also crystal. I don't think it's French though. I think it's American. And it has a sterling silver top that opens up. It also says sterling in two spots on it on the lid back here. I don't know if you could see that. I'm trying to zoom in. Well, you can't, but, and then right on the hinge as well. It has a little stopper in it. And that one was probably about 1900 or so. This one is another favorite of mine. This is a lay down throwaway bottle. And people actually bought these. It was filled with scented oil. And they would just buy this in the store to pour into their larger bottles. And this would go into the garbage. Now, a lot of people call these tear bottles, Victorian tear bottles, or lacrimatory bottles, but they're not. They're actually throwaway bottles, and it got a fable of being called a tear bottle. And these are very, very pretty. These were actually made in Germany, and they're hand-blown crystal. This is another American zipper cut bottle with sterling silver top, and you can see the zipper cuts going throughout it. Again, this is early 20th century, about 1900 or so. Again, another American bottle. Beautiful, beautiful crystal. And that's all hand cut. We got a sterling silver top, and it's marked sterling. And this has its original glass stopper inside of it. And these actually are quite rare. And it has perfume on this little cotton ball from when actually it was probably made. A lady placed that in there with her perfume scent in there. And I can still smell it today. Here's another beautiful cut glass bottle. This is crystal as well. And this is English. And you can see the sterling silver top. That's actually really beautiful. This is Birmingham English silver. And this one is dated 1910. And you can tell by the little marks on the collar. I gotta find it. And they're hidden under here by the label I have on here. But there we go. So that's telling me that this is Birmingham. And this is really, really a very, very pretty bottle. This is going to be a long video. I'm so sorry. This is actually, I thought this was Venetian, or I thought this was actually like Czechoslovakian or Bohemian. But this is what I found out. I believe this, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe this to be an English glass bottle. And I believe a company by the name of Nailsea made it. And they made a lot of glass bottles with these little swirls in it, like you're seeing here. And I really, really, really thought it was Venetian. Now, you see how it has these two separate little stoppers and glass openings? Nailsea was known for these type of double opening bottles. So that's quite interesting. Now, I have this in my Etsy shop for sale. And as a matter of fact, for the past couple of years, and nobody's purchased it. And I'm going to actually remove it because I don't want to sell it. I love that bottle. This is a 1920s La Kid perfume bottle, atomizer. It was made by Marcel Frank. And this piece pops up and it pumps. So a lady, this is like a travel atomizer where a lady put her perfume in there. And it has beautiful mother of pearl. This one's another favorite of mine. I'm definitely not going to list this one for sale. It's a chatelaine bottle. And a chatelaine, I think in French, that means chain. And a lady would attach this to a little hook on her waistband, on her belt of her dress, and it would dangle down from her waist. If not, it was also known as a finger ring. And this could be carried around by a lady placing her finger in here, and it would dangle from her finger. And she put her scents in there or smelling salts. And this one is really, really quite beautiful. Look at the pattern. And it may be Venetian glass or Bohemian glass. This one is Czechoslovakian, and it's from the 1930s, and it was made by Karl Palda, and it's really, really unusual. These Art Deco designs were really amazing. If you look at the shape of it. It's almost like a teardrop. And then it has all this beautiful ruby cut to clear glass. And this is quite sensational glass. It's really lovely. And the design is just really, really cool. Again, I love that teardrop shape. This one I got today. It's a De Vilbiss atomizer bottle. And it has that gorgeous like jade or jadeite color. And this one is probably from the 1920s or 1930s. This looks like a grenade. Doesn't this look like a grenade? I kid you not. It's sort of unusual looking. This one is from the Netherlands. And it's a beautiful, beautiful blown glass bottle with gold gills, and it's green. And this little piece, if you unscrew this little stopper, it pops up, and then you can sprinkle the perfume on your wrist, and then you can push it down and lock it when you're not using it. This is another one of my favorites. This is Baccarat glass. It's French. And it's probably from the 1880s to 1900. And it's got this beautiful, beautiful peacock blue color. And it has ribs and swirls going throughout it. And this is, I mean, absolutely stunning. Let me see if I can get it open. It has its original stopper, little glass stopper in it. And that's quite beautiful. This one is another American bottle, and it has actually a sterling silver top with an Art Nouveau design. So this is probably from about 1890s to about 1915. And it's got beautiful, beautiful ribs glass going around it. And it's very similar to the other bottles that I was showing you, like these, that I have a bunch of. I suspect that they're from the same maker. And last but not least, this is a 1920s Vantines. This was from a store called Vantines, AA Vantines, the Oriental store. And they sold all sorts of Chinese and Japanese trinkets and novelties and perfumes, including kimonos and stationery, you name it. They had it, that anything with an Asian or Chinese motif. And these once contained perfume in them. They are now empty. And it comes with this little travel box with goldfish design on a lacquer box. And throughout the box, you'll see the goldfish design has a little beautiful metal handle. And it's quite pretty in miniature. I mean, again, look how tiny that is. And again, that's for travel. Really, really beautiful. So that's it, guys. That's all she wrote. So once again, thanks for watching. Sorry the video was so long. And I hope you enjoyed my little perfume collection. And I'll see you guys all soon. So long.